Up next on Sci-Fi Fantasy, ultrasonic cleaning your airbrush and possibly more. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from SciFiFantasy.com and welcome to another YouTube video. So today what are we going to do? We're going to be looking at the ultrasonic cleaner and how to use it for your airbrush and possibly other things too that are painted. Yesterday we went over breaking down your airbrush and cleaning it with lacquer thinner by letting it soak and hand scrubbing and all that. So we're going to see how the ultrasonic cleaner does, and I'll have a few tips about this because I learned a few things on Facebook yesterday from a few major names in the modeling industry that were giving me hints about using this thing, what parts you want to put in there and what parts you don't. So, as I always ask you, come to SciFiFantasy.com, register, join the community, show us your builds, have fun over there, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little notification icon because we're getting close to 1,500. I think we're at $14.99. So maybe if we hit 2,000, I'll do another giveaway of sorts. Why not? I'm always giving stuff away to the community because I like to. It's fun watching people win and getting all excited. It's good stuff. But enough about all that crap. Let's get on to the bench and see what this ultrasonic cleaner is all about. So yesterday we did manual cleaning of the airbrush, and today we're going to do ultrasonic cleaning. I was very curious about this product because I see a lot of people using it, so I posted up on Facebook asking about it, and I got a lot of great recommendations from a lot of well-known people in the industry, and they were telling me about the ultrasonic cleaners and how well they worked. They gave me a lot of actually options what people use. So I went on Amazon and I saw what they had, and there's a ton of them on Amazon, so you got a really big choice. But if you're interested in this one, after we're done with the video, there'll be a link in the description. I think it was $30 or $35. Paid an extra $5 for same-day shipping, so I got it the same day. It's not a big unit, so it'll fit on your desk nicely, or you can store it somewhere. It's very small, compact, so you don't have to worry about that. It has a digital display to show you the time amount that you have it set for. You have your on-off button, the amount of time you want to run the machine, and this one is a degasser button. This one comes with a degasser. There's also ones with heating and stuff like that, so the more options you get, the more expensive it gets. So like I was saying, yesterday we did it manually. Today we're going to do it with the ultrasonic cleaner and see how well it does on an airbrush. And then I got another piece I'm going to put in here, and I want to see how well it'll take paint off of that, and we'll show you that a little later. But there are some safety warnings with these. Obviously you don't want to pour the water or whatever fluid you're using from inside towards the front. You'll ruin the display. You always want to pour it out the side over here. Do not put this in a high humidity environment like the bathroom or anything like that. The moisture, I guess, will get into the electronics and it's going to ruin it. And also do not put anything flammable in here. Do not use lacquer thinner, do not use alcohol or anything like that, because you can run the risk of starting a fire. Now, I was very curious as to what people do use in these. Some use the jewelry cleaner that you can get for it. Some use Windex with no ammonia. Remember, it's no ammonia because if you use ammonia, you run the chance of stripping the chrome off of your airbrush, and that won't be good. Some people told me they just use water in here, and some say they use just water and a little bit of soap, and it takes off everything. It takes off acrylic, lacquer, and enamel. Now, we're going to be running acrylic because that's what I paint with, and we'll be dropping that in, and we'll see how well the airbrush does. So let's get this guy set up and get an airbrush in there. Okay, so here's our dirtied up airbrush. I actually went crazy and painted the inside. I sprayed through it. I put paint on the outside. For those of us that sometimes forget and just leave things in there, so I figured let's go hardcore with it, see what it can do, and then we'll see if we need to do a light cleaning before we put it into the ultrasonic, or will it be capable to take care of a hard work like this. Okay, I broke down the airbrush. I put everything in there, and the only two suggestions I'm going to make, as usual, do not put your air valve in there. Keep your air valve out, and also do not put your, oops, I gotta get that guy out of there. Don't put your nozzle or your tip in there because it's made out of a softer metal. And talking to the guys, sometimes that'll split and mess everything up. So I'm gonna go with the just plain water route, and we'll pop some water in there and get this guy going. Well, there was still some wet paint in there, so when I poured the water in, it popped some paint off and made the water a little cloudy, but the other stuff is still on there hard. So we're going to turn this guy on, and we're going to set it to 480 seconds and let it do its thing. So that's the first run at 480 seconds. The machine automatically shuts itself off, which is a good thing. And the airbrush that I threw in there is basically as if we had just painted something and we're cleaning it right away. That's not really caked on, but there was enough dry in the cup. So let's pull out a piece and see if the first run made it nice and shiny. Well, as you can see, there's still a lot of gunked up paint in there, and there's paint on the outside. So let's let it go another run. Okay, let's see what round 2 did. Still have paint on the handle, and we still have plenty of paint on the inside, which is stuck on. So it's not looking good for caked on mess. It's looking probably good for smaller things that have been caked on instead of this big. But what we're going to try now is we're going to add a couple drops of liquid soap in here and see if soap helps any. Okay, round 3 with soap. Let's see what we got going on. Got it off the handle, but we still have paint in the cup. So it's definitely not meant for heavy duty. If you forgot stuff, you're going to have to wipe it down, and it's going to take off any small stuff like that. So I'm going to get everything out of here and we'll see how it did. Okay, let's let the fun begin. We know we have paint in the cup, so that's a no-go. If you got a lot of residual paint in your cup, make sure you get that out beforehand. But I can tell you this, at the bottom where the vein is for the paint to come out, no problem at all. So I'm gonna have to clean this up better. So it doesn't look like there's any paint down the throat, but there's only one way to find that out. What we'll do is we'll take our white pipe cleaner, go down the throat a bit. I know I'll get some blue from there, but right in the front here, totally clean. Not a problem. Let's see if we got anything down the back. Just shove it in the back there. And it's clean again. So the only thing is in the cup. So it's nice and clean at the bottom. You can see there. If you have a lot of paint in your cup, make sure you clean that out, because the machine itself is not going to do it. And I'm thinking it's better off without just using water. You should use a solution of some sort in there to help break up the paint. I know people are saying just water and it's going to clean it out. I'm sure they have no problem doing it, but that's what the solutions are made for. It's made to break up anything that's on there. So let's check out the other pieces. Next up, we'll check out the needle holder. And I can tell you what, this thing is nice and shiny and feels smooth after the bath. So anything small, it's definitely going to get off. Nothing crusted on there like that, it looks like. So we'll take the white pipe cleaner, we'll shove it down there, we'll see if we got any residue. A little dark at the end, but otherwise It's nice and white and nice and clean in there. Our needle is perfect. That had paint on it. It took everything off the needle. So far, our only trouble is with our paint cup. Let's wipe it off and see what's on there. Nope, that's perfectly clean. Next up is the handle. I painted on it. There's a little spot of paint there. And that's took most of it off. There's just a little spot, but again, this is nice and shiny and smooth after sitting in there. This feels a lot better. It doesn't feel as rough as it did before. Here's the rest of the parts. I haven't even dried them up yet, and I can see that all the overspray and everything is off the caps, and it's looking good. So we have no problem with that. Any small amounts of paint or anything like that, it's gonna do fine. It actually makes everything look really shiny. It makes the airbrush look brand new. Anything that you have in your cup that is on there solid or thick, you're gonna wanna wash that out first. And if there's a little residual in there, it should take care of it, no problem. Okay, so after I threw it in lacquer thinner, there was still paint left on there. I left a little on because I wanted to see what would happen. I threw it back into the ultrasonic cleaner with just a little bit of paint in there, not the caked on, and everything came off. It came off the handle, came off the front over here. Nothing is in the throat of it, and it cleaned out the cup. And this thing is smooth and shiny, so absolutely will clean off the small amount of paints. So far, what did we learn about the ultrasonic cleaner in your airbrush? If you made a mess out of your airbrush, do the right thing and break it down and clean it properly first. If there's some leftover residual paint and stuff like that in the neck and the needle tube, you'll be able to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and it will clean the hell out of this thing and it'll make it like new. I mean, seriously, this thing is shiny and it's smooth, and I haven't felt it this way in a long time. The ultrasonic cleaner really did a great job on it. So the final thoughts on the ultrasonic cleaner is, if your brush is heavily soiled from paint, clean it out first and then do the ultrasonic, and it'll get rid of anything that's inside the tubing, get rid of all that paint, no problem. The other thing is, I'm not one for just water. I really don't think that works. You've seen I just used water and nothing came off of it. You definitely have to use some sort of solution. The next time I do it, I'm gonna do it with not ammonia. I'm gonna do it ammonia-free Windex. This way it adds that extra detergent in there to break stuff down and everything could come off easier. So when you do it, get yourself a solution. This way you can take care of that and get rid of all that. The other thing was, I was gonna do more on this video, but it was running long, so I'm gonna make another ultrasonic video with a couple more techniques that you can use this for, and then we'll see how that works out. So if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, throw it in the comments section below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Take care and bye-bye.